Hello, family. This is Gabriel, the messenger. I am. My message for you today is to love, to be happy, to love everyone. But it starts with you. Okay. Before I start, I want to give props to my ascended masters for always being with me, my ancestors, and the spirit of knowledge and love, which is the source of all things. Okay. So today, what do I want to talk about? What do you say? Oh, yeah. Porn. Have you heard of porn? P-O-R-N? Porn? Somebody knows? Porn? Yes, I want to talk about porn because it's everywhere. It's on our smartphones, in our laptop. I remember back in the day, I'm an 80s kid. So you have to go through a dial-up to get internet to even try to connect to watch anything like that. But now, cell phones, children, kids at such a young age have smartphones now. And all they need to do is type in some porn site. Instantly, 2 seconds, they understood it. Yes, it's that easy. And because this is the time of social media age, so everything is on the internet. So I want to talk about porn because it's a message. I mean, I travel around the world and I go to schools, middle schools and high schools, and my mission is to talk about sexuality and to talk about how porn can actually affect you in a good way and a bad way. It's choices that we make. And it's something that is an epidemic that we need to talk about because porn can affect your life in a negative way that your relationship within yourself, with your partners, will falter, will go bad very fast. And the reason why is because we don't talk about sexuality anymore to our younger brothers and sisters. So you hand them the phone and they go hang out with their friends. And they're like, get this website I found today. And you talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, that you are exposing them to something that is very powerful. Creation of us. Love in the sense of sex, which is sexuality, which is powerful on its own, which is God. That people don't understand how powerful that is. And then you expose their minds to that at such an early age, and it will change them forever. The images they have about what sex is what they saw on TV. I mean, on their small, tiny little smartphone, on their laptop. But everybody watching on smartphones now. And then you wonder why we are disconnecting from each other. There's not a lot of human interactions anymore because everybody's on their phone. You think they're playing video games, but they're not really playing video games. They're watching porn. They're like, what are you doing, man? No, I'm just playing this Game of Thrones. Are you sure? Oh, Game of Porn. Liar, That's what they're doing now. So they're watching porn all the time, telling you to play video games. But that's not true. So, because you're watching all these things, you're programming all these things in your brain, in your subconsciousness, and it will affect you negatively. Then, before you know it, men, kids that are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old do not know, look at women from a porn perspective. That's why parents, teachers, especially parents, basically, parents, I'll stick with that, or elders or adults in the kids' family. It's important that you have this talk with the little ones. It's important that they understand that porn that we watch is not real, it's like Hollywood. You need to understand that these people are actors. They're actors. They're performing fantasies of people, just like Batman, Superman, Santa Claus, okay? All these Easter bunnies. Those are fantasies of ours that we celebrate, that we talk about. And Catwoman and Wonder Woman, I love her. Yes, I love Wonder Woman. It's my hero right there, right? All these things are just fictional things that we love. that we are non-fictions, right? Those are fake things that those are fake. They're not real. But guess what? We believe that it's real. And then once we do, the universe does not know the difference except whatever feelings and emotions that we attach to something. So if you're watching all this porn and you believe that this stuff is real, these women are doing something that's real, well, guess what? Your being as a whole will expect something like that. And then when you go out in the real world, these women can do what these actors, trained professionals, stunt artists, because that's what they're doing. They are performing something on TV, that's their job. Just like an actor in a Hollywood is performing their role. This is a role they are playing, and they're getting paid to play a fantasy on your smartphones, just for you to relive a fantasy, but that's not reality. So this is affecting people. Now you're having a lot of issues with premature ejaculations and sexual issues in relationships, because what happens is your sexual organs are so sensitive. It doesn't know what's real and what's not anymore, because like everything is so confusing, because we started such a young age to be hyper stimulating all these things that it's overwhelming to the body. And no one is educating the young ones that you have to be very careful what you're watching, because it's not real. Because you can't expect a normal human being that is not in that world to do those things. But when you're that young people don't think about that. So it's very, very important that we educate young people, because young men especially, because they believe this is what it is, when in actuality it's just like your favorite actor in this movie studio playing a role, a fantasy, and that's all it is. So for young brothers and sisters out there, young men that's out there, be very careful. If you are overly stimulating yourself watching all these things, then it will cause you to be very distracted. It can be, and it can be very unhealthy. So talk to someone if you are addicted to it, where it's affecting you. You probably need to figure out what's going on, how you probably need to talk to a professional to help you to deal with it. But please have a conversation with your young ones to make them understand. If you're going to give a young person a cell phone, because a lot of parents do that because they want to use the phone to keep track of their kids, be very careful. You can't hide it from them. They will know. Once you hide them the phone, they go to their friend's house, they're going to be watching it. So instead of us to try to be naive and trying to be ignorant to this matter, it's actually better for you to be open and talk about it, to let them know, hey, this is just not real. Don't expect anybody to do any of these things. So people ask, when is the right time to have a conversation? I don't know. For boys, I would say as early as possible, because those little nuggets, they start early, because that's what they do now. So I will have this conversation with your son as early as possible to let them know, son, what you're watching, it's not real. These people are paid actors and actresses to perform this way. And you have to be an adult to be able to understand how these things work. You need to be able to understand your sexual organs and what it is, so that you know how to actually use it, because 75% of people don't know how to use their sexual organs, because they start early in watching these things, and they think that's how it works. No, it doesn't. So you need to educate yourself and understand yourself, your second chakra. That's your sexuality, because your sexuality is where your creativity lies. That's where your creative power is. Your sexuality is your creativity. So Do you want to masturbate all your creative powers? Then you become just not creative. There's a reason why God put it there for that. Your creativity lies within your sexuality, because that's where creation happens. You see, creation, that's where all of us came from. Okay? So it's important for you to understand your sexuality, understand how those things work for you, so you can understand the difference between porn, watching stuff, which is, I call them actors and actresses, because that's what they're doing. They're getting paid to do what they love on, just making videos, but it's not real. Because some of these people, when you meet them in real life, they're just normal people, but when they're in front of a camera, they become a character, just like your favorite comic, movies, your comic books. That's all they are. So young man, young woman, you're watching all these things, it's important for you to educate yourself very well before you even want to dive into sexuality, to actually start having sex. Understand it very well and understand the power and the spiritual power and emotions that's involved with sex. Some of you, once you do and then you don't understand the feelings, you stuck with someone because you think you have to be with them because they're the only one that can please you. But actually, if you understood how sex works by educating yourself very well, then you understand that no one should have power over you through sex. So please educate yourself. Don't use porn as a template to your sexual life, because that's not going to be good for you, because it have led a lot of people to breaking up and divorces and things like that because of expectations, what your favorite porn star did, and they thought any partner can do that, and it's not realistic. So please talk to your little ones at home and about it, and educate them about sex, because a lot of people are having sex and they don't understand what they're doing. It's not actually that. It's love making. There's a reason why it is. It's one of the most powerful force in this life. It is. It's one of the most powerful force, because that's where love is created. So if you don't understand it, I wouldn't recommend you try it until you know what you're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to be a slave to it, because you're going to be attached to it and you don't know exactly. Your emotional is going to be ruined emotionally. And then because you have no idea the force that you're dealing with. It's a spiritual force. It's the most powerful force in the universe. So I highly recommend for you to know exactly what you're doing before you try to dive into something that dark energy and unknown, because it's really unknown. Nobody knows except few people. But if you ask your soul, your spirit, it will give you the right answer and the right solutions, because it's there for us to enjoy, but you just have to know what you're doing and make sure you get spiritual guidance so that we send you the right people, the right mentors, the right source to help you understand it. Because when you do, then sky's the limit. You will enjoy the process. Okay? So please educate your loved ones about porn and understand that it's not real. It's not real. And, don't expect people to be able to do things like that. And, have an adult conversation about it, and make sure that even if you're in a relationship, you talk about that with your partner. And if you're somebody who's not interested in things like that, your partner is, you probably need to not be with someone like that. And if you're with someone that's addicted to it, you probably need to give them a support and figure out why they are so addicted to it. And most of the time they start very young. And that was the only thing that kept them company. There's a lot of people that I've met is because of the reason why. People that are addicted to porn is because they don't want to smoke, they don't want to do other drugs, but porn was a way of escape. Please, that's a lot. some indigo children that doesn't have a lot of friends, they gravitate towards such a thing because they feel they actually connect, to that world because no one else is. So that's their own escape. So please have this conversation. Figure out what's the emotional, what's the void that they have within them, and then understand the reason why they're watching it all the time and why, it's affecting them. So please have a discussion, a spiritual discussion, and no judging. No one is perfect. People who are addicted to it, you have an addiction too. Just because someone is addicted to something does not mean you have to look down on them. You have an addiction to buying shoes or buying cars or taking fancy trips or popping bottles in the club. That's an addiction. So you can't say this addiction is better than that one. Everybody has something they're addicted to. Okay? So don't judge people. Be saying, how dare you addicted to this? You're addicted to sex, you're addicted to porn, and something is wrong with you. You have your own addictions. Your own addiction is no different from their own addiction. Everybody's addiction is just as the same as yours. So stop making them look down on them. If you're in a relationship and somebody is open and candid and honest about their issue, please respect that with love and understanding and see what help they are seeking, they're asking you for, and find out if they genuinely want to do something about it. But I hope my message gets to the right person and you dive in deep and understand sexuality, because it's a dark energy unknown to humans. We don't understand it. There's a secret in there, but you have to dive in deep spiritually to figure out how to use that to your advantage. Sexuality, creation, makes you an abundance of peace and love and prosperity. Peace, love to everyone.